On tonight's Wales at 6, the nicotine product being legally sold to teenagers. Tonight, experts warn of the risks of young people getting addicted.
Unlike vapes or cigarettes, there's no age restrictions on buying these. I've been investigating the concerns.
Also tonight, disappointment as the publication of a long-awaited review into a paedophile head teacher is postponed. Plus, 9 decades since one of Britain's worst mining disasters, remarkable unseen artefacts are displayed for the first time. And the 11-year-old farm handler showing the bulls who's boss. Hello, good evening to you. There are concerns tonight that school children are accessing nicotine, and it's not through smoking cigarettes or vapes. It's another product you may not have heard of, nicotine pouches. They're small chewing gum shaped parcels placed between the gum and upper lip to give the user a hit. A recent survey of teachers carried out by the NASUWT union found an alarming 88% are worried about pupils misusing them. And unlike cigarettes, there's currently no age restriction on buying them. Ella Lloyd has been investigating and has tonight's top story.
Rehearsing is how this band from Cardiff spend a lot of their time. And band practice is often accompanied by these nicotine pouches. Nick started using them when he was around 16.
It was like a way to try and cut down on spending on vapes and stuff. When I went onto nicotine pouches, I started at around about 30 milligrams, and then I slowly went down to cut off. It was an easy way of keeping track of how much I was taking, and overall I do think that they're much better for people because smoking and vaping is harmful for the lungs.
Have you ever had any negative experiences with it?
So once I tried a 50 milligram pouch when I was drunk, and it burnt the inner lining of my lip and got frazzled off. It was just more irritation, like my lip was red raw.
Here in the capital, I've been able to buy these nicotine pouches at multiple shops with no questions asked and without showing ID. But that is part of what campaigners are concerned about. These products aren't age restricted and can be sold to anyone, including a child. Some of them are out of date, others don't tell me how strong they are, and some of them aren't labelled in English. They could be more than 10 cigarettes worth of nicotine.
So when it comes to the health harms associated with these products, obviously if you vape, we know that vaping is not risk-free. It's significantly less harmful than smoking, but it is not risk-free. When it comes to nicotine products, obviously these products still contain nicotine, so you are ingesting that nicotine, and the impact of that is the fact that we're making young people addicted to nicotine, to a product that they're going to find it very difficult to move away from.
But how many people in the city know what's available on their own doorstep? How old do you think you need to be to buy these?
Probably 18.
18?
Probably.
What if I told you there's no age limit?
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
The first thing that comes to mind, dangerous.
18.
18.
I would have said 18.
What if I told you there's no age restriction? You can buy them at
You're
any
kidding
age.
me.
Is it?
So a 12-year-old, there's nothing legally stopping someone from selling it to a 12-year-old.
You're kidding. It's wrong.
Wrong?
Totally wrong.
Why would that worry you?
Well, if I thought of him, my grandson was 12, 13, and he came home and he was doing that. No, especially on the gums.
Their rapid rise in popularity has meant one shopkeeper in Barry has even decided to start manufacturing his own low-strength brand.
It was suddenly everyone was jumping on this bandwagon. I don't think they can use it anywhere. They don't need to vape. So they're still getting the constant nicotine whenever they want, wherever they want. Much more convenient.
He says some of the more powerful products on the market are concerning.
Yeah, because you're selling something to the customer, they don't know what it is. If they have sold it to 18 or 20 years old, if it's too strong, it probably won't be good for their health, isn't it?
As people's habits change following the ban on disposable vapes, Displays like this may become more common very soon. Yeah.
Well, Ella is on the High Street in Cardiff tonight. People in your report there shocked that there's no age restriction on buying these nicotine pouches, as will people be watching at home, no doubt.
Yes, Andrea, people in Cardiff today very shocked to learn that there's no age restrictions on these products. Now, there is legislation currently going through the House of Lords, the Tobacco and Vapes Bill, which aims to bring the age of sale up to 18 in line with cigarettes. And the Welsh Government say that if that happened, it would provide enforcement teams with more powers to deal with those who break the law, including those who sell to under 18s. Now, interestingly, today, Forest, the smokers' rights group, told us they agreed with that it should be brought up to 18, but they say it shouldn't be a demonised product because it does have benefits for people who are trying to quit smoking. Now, it's less than 4 months since the ban on disposable vapes came in on June the 1st. So trends are changing. That bill that I spoke about earlier, the Tobacco and Vapes Bill, is scheduled to come into force in 2027. Until then, the concerns remain that young people could be accessing a highly addictive substance.
Really interesting, Ella, on the Cardiff High Street. Thanks very much indeed. Elsewhere this evening, Gwynedd Council says it is extremely disappointed after the publication of a report looking at how accusations against a paedophile head teacher were handled was postponed last minute with no new date for publication. Neil Foden, who worked at 2 Gwynedd schools, was jailed last year for sexual offences against 4 girls. An inquiry into how allegations were dealt with was originally due to be published today. Joanne Gallagher is outside the council's offices tonight. Good evening, Joanne. So what more can you tell us about this?
Well, there's lots of disappointment around this, Andrea. We were, of course, expecting this review to be published today at around 3 o'clock. It's a 1-year review into that paedophile head teacher, Neil Foden, who's currently serving 17 years in jail for sexually abusing 4 girls over a period of 4 years. Now, the North Wales Safeguarding Board say they've had to make this decision because of legal obligations and concerns around sharing information. But they did make this decision very last minute. We were all due to arrive in Caernarfon here this morning, but yesterday evening we received this email to tell us that it was going to be postponed. Now, the North Wales Safeguarding Board admit that they know this is going to be difficult, especially for those survivors of Neil Foden and for the women and girls who've taken part in this review. Of course, Neil Foden worked in the Bangor area for more than 25 years. He ruled that school, Ysgol Friars, with an iron fist, but we now know that he was using that school and was in the community and he was abusing girls. So Cyngor Gwynedd Council have said they're disappointed in the ruling.
Joanne, thank you. The victim of a suspected murder in Rhydyfelin has been named as 22-year-old Liam Wolford from Porth. He was injured along with 2 other men in a disturbance in the early hours of Tuesday morning, but later died in hospital. 2 men have since been arrested on suspicion of murder and a woman for wounding with intent. All 3 remain in police custody as investigations continue. Work to expand the Senate's chamber to accommodate more politicians will cost nearly £1 million more than expected. Construction work on the chamber began this year, with the Welsh Parliament set to expand from 60 to 96 members at the next election in May 2026. Today, the Senedd Commission confirmed the total cost of the work is expected to be around £4.22 million. Changes to immigration rules that Reform UK said it would make if elected into power have been described as potentially catastrophic by those in the care sector. Care Forum Wales said the party's policy could be hugely damaging to care homes who rely on overseas workers. Reform says it would create a limited amount of visas for roles in sectors like care where there's a skills shortage. Marie-Claire Carey-Jones has this report.
With an ageing population in Wales, the care sector is more important than ever before. But staffing the industry isn't easy. Currently, there are more than 10,000 vacancies in the care sector in Wales, which is why many care homes and home care companies rely on overseas staff. 15% of registered care workers in Wales were born outside the UK, but they would be forced to apply for new visas under plans announced by Reform UK.
There are certain job functions in this country that are reliant on foreign labour, without which there would be material detriment to British people. We call these national critical roles. So as a result of that, we will create something called an ASSV, an acute skills shortage visa. These will be strictly limited in number.
There are fears that policy could make care recruitment even harder.
Well, people who are legally in this country, who are doing a vitally important job, need to be respected. And I think the sad part about these politically expedient statements, which probably are very good for the opinion polls, but actually very damaging for social care and, of course, the NHS.
The issue is also a topic of debate for politicians.
1 in 5 workers in the UK are migrant workers. 30% of our NHS workforce are migrant workers. How on earth would we cope if those people were deported?
Reform UK says they'll ensure British workers are trained in care work as part of their proposals. But tonight there are fears that vulnerable people in Wales are those who will be hit hardest by the plans. Marie-Claire Kerry-Jones, ITV News.
Well, it is time now to get some sports news.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Cymru Wales Sports Report.
In an historic moment, 3 Welsh teams have made it through to the 4th round of the League Cup. Swansea, Wrexham and Cardiff will all now wait for the draw in a few hours' time to see who they'll face next, with the possibility of playing against a Premier League side like Liverpool or Chelsea on the cards. Well, Megan Boot is outside Cardiff City Stadium for us tonight. Megan, just how big a deal is this?
It is a big deal. I mean, the stats tell the story, don't they? Of 16 of those teams at the end, round 4, 3 of those are Welsh. It's a historic moment, like you say. And of the top 4 goal-scoring teams of the campaign so far, 3 of those are also Welsh. So it's looking good. How did we get here? Well, last night Cardiff took on Premier League side Burnley, and 2 first-half goals secured the win there for the Bluebirds. Wrexham took on Reading, and it was this man, record signing Nathan Broadhead, that secured that win. Now, like Cardiff, Swansea beat a Premier League side. This time it was Nottingham Forest, and this time it was last week. Sadly, Newport, though, didn't get through in earlier rounds of the Carabao Cup. So what is it all about? Well, this cup with different names has gone on since the 1960s, and in all that history, a Welsh side has only won once. That side was Swansea, and that was in 2013. We've got some pictures now of the bus parade. If you look really closely, you might even see the trophy. Blink and you miss it. But it gives you a sense of what this means to fans and the hope, really, of a cup run.
Well, great scenes there. The question is, when will we find out if we have a Welsh derby on our hands?
That's the question. Well, the draw is happening tonight. We know that Cardiff is ball number 3, Newport number 9, Wrexham number 11. We'll get a sense then, we'll get the results if there's a Welsh derby, or if there'll be some Premier League big hitters coming to play against the Welsh sides.
Megan, exciting. Thanks very much. Now, for the first time since the disaster at Gresford Colliery near Wrexham, unseen artefacts from the time have gone on display. 266 men and boys died in the explosion, and although it happened more than 9 decades ago, it's a moment in history the community will never forget. Our correspondent Carol Green went to find out more.
Turning the pages of history. Within these letters and petitions lie the hidden stories of the Gresford Colliery disaster. It's the first time this archive has been accessible in the community where it resonates the most.
So many people have come up to us with stories of their own involvement with the mine, with relatives that were affected by the disaster, and with names that they've recognised on petitions and on letters. So we've seen just an incredible, moving, emotional response.
Rescuers declare that 207 men are trapped below behind a barrier of fire.
This small black notebook was used to record air quality. But in the months leading up to the disaster, monitoring was missed and records falsified after the explosion, which claimed 266 lives.
It hurts, to be truthful. As I was doing the same job, but it was impressed on me that I had to be accurate. But I'm afraid in 1934, the main thing was to get the call out, regardless. And people would do or say anything.
And it cost lives.
It cost lives. It certainly did cost lives.
This archive is making a fleeting visit to Wrexham, but the Gresford colliery disaster is etched long in the community memory here, echoing down the generations.
It's lovely to be able to come and see the actual, genuine articles because, they're so far away normally, aren't they? So yeah, just keen interest. And I just remember my grandfather obviously was here in the town at the time saying the whole town mourned.
Such a small community as well, and to lose so many, and the little bit I've just read and not been able to get the bodies as well. Yeah, it's quite traumatic, isn't it?
A trauma and a loss which has never been forgotten.
At the time of the disaster, overnight, 1,000 men unemployed. And there was 25% unemployed in the country anyway. It was huge, the way the families suffered. But our children need to know their heritage, and that's what we're aiming to do.
It's now 92 years since 266 men and boys went to work and never came home. These records are a living testament to them and their story. Carol Green, ITV News, Wrexham.
Remembering Gresford there. Next tonight, I'll talk about punching above your weight. An 11-year-old girl from Carmarthenshire has just been crowned Young Handler of the Year at the Young British Farming Awards for her ability to handle prize-winning bulls. Etlw Grieg-Davis won the junior title last year, but now she's claimed the senior title too. Lewis Rhys-Jones went to meet her.
Taking great pride in her work, 11-year-old Etlw from Ceredigion always makes sure the cattle scrub up well to win the rosettes. And now she's an award winner in her own right after being recognised at the Young British Farming Awards.
I've been preparing them before the shows, like brushing them, put halters on them and all that stuff before the show, and then the effort comes out when you're showing the cattle then. I've won the Senior Young Handler Awards this year, so I need to build up my CV, like what the judges' comment says, what I've done, what I've won, mistakes, like what the judges said and all that stuff. My heart is in the farm. I like to, after school, sometimes come up preparing the cattle ready for the shows, helping Dad, Mum, all that. Sometimes I'm helping Dad with work after school and stuff like that.
Etlw's passion for showing the cattle shines through, and it's a hobby that continues to take her across the UK.
I like to get more opportunities, like I'm going to Devon, Cornwall, North East Live, English Winter Fair, all that shows, and we do lots of local shows in the summer.
The family couldn't be prouder of Etlw's latest achievement, which she adds to a collection of various other awards.
Since we've had our farm, we bought the farm then and built it up ourselves then. And then when Etlw had her first brush in her hand, there was no stopping her then, and she went from strength to strength. It's only the second time it's been running then, and it has gone, it's really good. Nice to see the youngsters, the future of farming, all the under-18s there. So, yeah, hopefully the future is bright for farming.
Nicknamed the Welsh Little Smiler in competitions over the border, it's clear Elliw will keep on smiling as she and the family take to the winter fairs in the coming weeks. Lewis Rhys-Jones, ITV News.
Oh, sounds like she was made for it, doesn't it?
I tell you what, fair play to her.
Yeah, she's doing well. Well, it's weather time. It's been lovely today.
Do you know what? It's felt fabulous, hasn't it? I mean, we've had all that yucky weather last week, and then today, well, in fact, the last couple of days, it's just been like, thank goodness for that, yeah. And if all this calm, quiet weather is right up your street, then I have some good news for you, because there's more of it to come. So as far as the next few days are concerned, we're looking at largely dry with some lovely spells of sunshine. And if you catch the sunshine like today, it'll feel really pleasant. We've had highs of 17 or 18 degrees. However, warmish by day, but by night, the temperatures, like tonight, are dropping away. And over the next few nights, actually, for some parts of Wales, it could be cold enough for a little bit of frost. And these early mornings, which are all very autumnal, looking really rather beautiful, with patches of mist and fog through the valley. So all very seasonal. And the good news is, as I said, that the weather we've got is going to last. Now, there is a slight fly in the ointment, and actually, if you are making plans for the coming weekend, Saturday is looking a little bit hit and miss. We could see some wind and rain, but actually that'll rattle through quite quickly and it'll settle down all over again. But on the whole, some lovely weather to come.
Midday Mayan temples, followed by sunny afternoons on the sand. TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
All is calm and quiet out there at the moment. We've had a little bit of cloud through inland areas today. Still got some, but actually this will lift as we head into the overnight stretch. And you can see, well, very little weather to talk about. Cloudless skies by the early hours, which does result in those chilly temperatures I've been talking about. Values of around 1 or 2 degrees, particularly inland. 6s and 7s elsewhere, all very average, but we could see the possibility of a little bit of frost in those rural spots and maybe some pockets of fog through the valleys by the early hours. All very seasonal, setting us up for a lovely start then to Thursday morning. A chill in the air, the mist and murk will lift away quite quickly, and actually tomorrow we're looking at possibly brighter skies than we've had out there today. Less cloud, lots of blue sky and autumn sunshine, with the temperatures bang on average, highs of around 17, maybe an 18 in Celsius. So a very pleasant day to come. As we head through then into the outlook stretch Friday, we end the week with effectively more of the same. Another bright and beautiful day, highs of 16 or 17. But I'm sure you'll have noticed behind me, there is a band of rainfall. Now, through Friday, that will be parked out in the Atlantic. It will make slow and steady progress towards us later into Friday, so we could see a little bit of cloud building. And then as far as the start of your weekend is concerned, if you are making plans for Saturday, you might have to factor in some wet and windy weather. There is that band of rain. It'll move through quite quickly, so it will improve later into Saturday and something a little bit drier and brighter for Sunday. And high pressure then reasserts itself. So as we head into the start of next week, it feels like a long time away, but actually things will remain generally calm and settled. You can see the chilly nights, though, values in the low single figures, so frosty and foggy conditions for all.
TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Frost and fog. You've got to say it very carefully, otherwise you end up with frosty frogs, which is never a good thing. But it's that time of the year.
It's a tongue twister.
It is indeed, yes, like the weather itself.
Well, we'll take that, though. A bit of sunshine. Thank you very much. And that's it from the Wales at 6 team this evening. Your next updates with Carl after the news at 10 from us. Bye-bye.